What's up, guys? I'm Cody Brockway, and you are back here for another episode of Brockway's Vinyl Bites. That's right. And what we're talking about today is we're talking about the 21 progressive rock and progressive metal albums from the 21st century that you need to hear if you haven't heard them already. And of course, if you have heard them already, you know how amazing they are. These are 21 of my personal favorites. And so, yeah, 21 amazing albums from the 21st century. We're going to start off, and this is not a ranking, this is just a really great list of records. And so if you haven't heard any of them, I would highly recommend that you do so. I have physical copies for everything but, I believe, 2 of them, and that's because they're just so hard to get. But they're all amazing albums. Every one of these is just top to bottom fantastic. We're going to start off with the supergroup that is Kino. That's right, the Radio Voltaire album from 2018. Of course, like I said, it's a supergroup, so you get John Mitchell from Frost, Pete Trewavas from Marillion and Transatlantic. You get John Beck from It Bites and Craig Blundell from every freaking band that's playing out there now. But wow, what a tremendous album, a tremendous band. Anything John Mitchell sings on is going to be good. And of course, Pete T and Craig Blundell in the rhythm section yeah, you can't get better than that. Absolutely fantastic stuff. So yes, Kino, Radio Voltaire. And then we're going to go the heavier route here with some progressive metal. Now, I didn't include all metal albums, otherwise, we'd be including stuff like Megadeth and Metallica and things like that. So we kept it all prog and prog metal. And who am I to talk about the amazing records of the 21st century and not bring up a record like this? This is Tesseract's War of Being. Wow, what an absolutely life-changing, mind-blowing album. This thing is super tremendous. And of course, this is the book set. The CDs fell out of the book part there, of course, as it happens. But this is the book set. It has the Dolby Atmos DVD in it. Got all the lyrics and the really cool imagery. Got it on vinyl too. It's just absolutely fantastic. The visuals, look at that. Hey, look, it's Chapel Roan. Oh. Anyway, this is a prog metal assault. Just a really great flowing album. And just such a talented band. Daniel Tompkin on vocals, just wow. Amazing. So good. Absolutely worthy of your time, as is the newest one. And actually, this is probably the newest one on the whole list. I absolutely had to bring something from 2025, and it had to be this. Car Mechanic, Jonas Reingold's project. Of course, John Mitchell is on this as well. But then he's got a myriad of other players. Steve Hackett's on it. I believe Nick DiVirgilio's on it. Mixed by Chris Lord-Alge, that's pretty cool, and produced by Jonas Reingold. It is a tremendous album. Just upon hearing this, I listened to it when it released at midnight in my headphones, and it was like, wow, gotta get the CD of this, and I did, and then interviewed him on the Prog Corner with Scott Lade. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, Jonas Reingold's Car Mechanic band, Transmutation, absolutely fantastic. And okay, this one we're going to go back to the sort of dawn of the 2000s, if you will. Going back to 2001 with one of the greatest records ever created. I think that most of you would probably agree with this, but it is Tool and the Lateralis album. Oh, Danny Carey's drums, just amazing. And the songs on this are just unreal. They have stood the test of time with stuff like Schism and Parabola, or Parabola, however you want to pronounce it. The Grudge, amazing. I've seen them play so many of these songs live too. Just the soundscapes and the vibes and everything from Adam Jones, Justin Chancellor, Maynard James Keenan, and Danny Carey. The musicianship is absolutely off the charts. Go listen to this if you haven't heard it. It's absolutely fantastic. And the title track is one of the greatest songs ever written. Tool, Lateralis. Moving forward, what do we got next? One more from John Mitchell. This record came out in 2021. Absolutely, really, really great album. Of course, Pat Mastelotto actually appears for a couple of tracks. Yeah, the shrink wrap is still on, but it is really cool. It's a really sort of moody, vibey album. My stuff's falling over here. Okay, sorry, just a second. Sorry about that. We're back. Frost have always released great albums. Of course, Craig Blundell has played on some of their records. Andy Edwards has played on some of their records. But this one, there's a couple of different drummers on here, and very notably has the inclusion of Pat Mastelotto, like I was telling you before. But yeah, just a fantastic album. The title track is awesome. The Boy Who Stood Still is a really cool song. Kind of reminds me of Roll the Bones from Rush, but it reminds me of it, but it doesn't sound like it at the same time. Anyway, great listen all the way through. I would highly recommend it. Next up, what do we got? Oh, yes. The prog metal legends themselves. I don't have this on vinyl because it's just one of them that's really hard to get. But I certainly do have the CD. This is Haken, The Mountain. Now, I could have picked other ones. I could have picked Virus. I could have picked Fauna. But this one is just, something about this one that keeps kind of pulling me back. Atlas Stone, Pareidolia, Somebody, but of course we got the Cockroach King on here, right? That's kind of Haken's. I'm not going to say it's a big hit, but it's probably their most recognized, well-known song. I don't know, but the whole album is it's really, really great. And there's not really anyone else that sounds like Haken. They're like the heavy metal gentle giant, and I'm totally here for it. You can totally see it and feel it on this album. It is tremendous. From 2013, this is The Mountain from Haken. From 2016, probably the most Yes-like record we've had in this century. Of course, not by a Yes member. I believe these guys are Swedish, but this is a really tremendous album. I believe if you actually watched anything on the Prog Corner, Scott Lade is always kind of toting the brilliance of this album, and rightfully so. This is Wobbler. Yes, From Silence to Somewhere. Absolutely tremendous, especially if you like the sort of classic sound of 70s Yes. This is kind of like a modernized version of that. And of course, there's only 4 songs on it because it opens with an epic and it closes with an epic at 13 minutes. But yeah, just wow. And the title track, brilliant, absolute brilliance. If you like progressive rock in any capacity, this is absolutely worthy of your attention. Very much so. So, Wobbler, From Silence to Somewhere. And we need a new Wobbler album real soon, because they only did one more after this, and then it's been, 4 or 5 years since they put out another record. So we need it, and I hope they're watching and they can find out that we need it. But yeah, great stuff. And speaking of Yes members, this was possibly the best album released by a Yes member that is not Trevor Rabin, because I'm thinking, and I didn't actually pull Trevor Rabin's Rio album to be on this list, but it absolutely could have been. It's a tremendous album, but I had to go with this. This album just came out at such a great time in my life. I had just met Tara. We had just sort of started to be together, and we actually made one of the songs on this our song. There's a song on here called Thank God, ends the album, and that's our song. It'll be played at our wedding for sure, but it's just a really great album. This is kind of like if 80s Yes was still around, but with all the proggy attributes of everything that you ever liked about Yes, because the band geeks are totally more than capable of playing the old Yes material and creating this new sound with John Anderson that's just absolutely tremendous. It kind of has the 80s Yes vibes, but it also doesn't sound like it's derivative of that stuff. Like, it's still very fresh, and it's so fresh sounding that you actually can't even believe that he's 80 years old and singing like this. So don't take my word for it. Go check it out yourself. John Anderson and the Band Geeks. True. So good. So good. And what do we got next? Okay. Going back to 2015, this was just a big album for me. And this would be the first time that I actually saw this legend on tour. And the first of 8 times. I think maybe you know where I'm going with this. Steve Hackett and the Wolflight record. Look at that album cover. It's absolutely one of his best album covers for sure. But one of his best music albums of all. It's just so good. And seeing him do a number of these songs live was really astounding. It was quite breathtaking. I like the way that this album kind of plays out like a movie when you listen to it. So it's like you're actually in like a superhero film, listening to some of the passages and stuff in this. It's just really awesome. I really like this record a lot. So it is Steve Hackett, Wolflight. Of course, Steve Hackett from Genesis, but I think you guys probably know that. Okay, what do we got next? Okay, this is probably the only instrumental, like fully instrumental album on this list, but it absolutely has to be here because you know what? It's Marco Miniman, it is Guthrie Govan, and it is Brian Beller, and it is the Aristocrats. This record came out last year, 2024, and this is the Duck album. Just, the names of the songs on this thing, This Is Not Scrotum, Hey, Where's My Drink Package, Sitting with a Duck on a Bay, Aristo Club. With names like that, how could it not be on here? But for real, the musicianship on this is absolutely astounding. And you'd be hard-pressed to find an Aristocrats album that sucks, quite frankly, because they've all been very good. But I had to mention this one. I really like it a lot. Just the musicianship from all three of them is absolutely off the charts. So yeah, if you like that sort of really great instrumentation, there is no vocals on it, so if you like the instrumental stuff, I would highly recommend you check this out because they can do it very, very well. I know people who don't even particularly dig very many instrumental albums, but appreciate what they do because they're unreal. Okay, the next one here. This is probably the album that I don't think anyone ever actually thought we were going to get. But I'm certainly glad we did. I saw him on the tour for this, and it was a fantastic concert. It's a fantastic album. It's Peter Gabriel and the I.O. record that came out in 2023. Already 2 years ago, so now we've only got to wait another 18 for its follow-up. In true Peter Gabriel fashion. What a tremendous album. The songs on this, there's something so spiritual about the tunes on this. Like I.O., I'm just a part of everything, that sort of lyrical vibe that he goes for in that song. Road to Joy was really cool. Panopticon, I think that was the first single from it. It's a really beautiful album, and the production is just, wow, off the charts on this. So absolutely worthy of your attention if you haven't heard it yet. Peter Gabriel, I.O. Now we're in the top 10. Not that it's a ranking, but we're in the final 10. So let's get through this. This is a band that Tara and I actually drove all the way to Ottawa, Ontario, from just south of Toronto to go see. So that's about a 5-hour drive. And they played in a small college, and we got to meet the band after the gig. Gregory Spotton, I'm looking at you, my friend. Alberto Brevine, Claire Lindley, Nick DiVirgilio, everyone in the Big Big Train band. The current lineup is just absolutely rocking. I could have picked one of the older ones like Grand Tour or Folklore. R.I.P. David Longdon, the singer. But something about this album, just the way it kind of sucked me in, and just like putting this on and looking at the artwork and feeling kind of like I was in Selling England by the Pound mode. But it still sounds very modern and very fresh at the same time. They managed to do that balance perfectly. Like, you can tell the influences, but it's also not derivative. It really is a tremendous listen. And I would absolutely urge you, any of you classic progressive rock fans, go listen to this. You need to hear it. Big Big Train, The Likes of Us. Just what a tremendous record. I'm so happy with this thing. I love it. And the band members that we got to meet, they were all really nice, and so we appreciate them very much. The next one is unfortunately one that I don't have a physical copy of yet because it is so hard to get, but it is a tremendous album. It's the Neil Morse Band from 2016. Of course, you should not be shocked that Neil Morse finally makes an appearance on the list, and it is not the last one. But Similitude of a Dream, Mike Portnoy on drums, Randy George on bass. I cannot remember the name of the guitar player, but he's absolutely fantastic on this. And of course, Neil Morse himself just being absolutely brilliant. One of the great concept albums of all time. A nice, big, long double album. And the musicianship is just off the charts. I mean, even Mike Portnoy looks at that thing and he says, that's the greatest achievement in my career. So I would highly urge all of you guys to listen to it. Neil Morse Band, Similitude of a Dream. Fantastic album. And this was what is, kind of said as being the swan song of Rush's music. Now, that would have been absolutely definite until we got the news of, oh, they're going on tour again. So, honestly, who knows if they'll make new music? I don't know. But Rush are touring again next year. That'll be really cool. R.I.P. Neil Peart. This is the last studio album that we've got from Rush. 2012's Clockwork Angels. A lot of great songs on here. Some of the best Rush songs ever are on this album. The Anarchist is awesome. Halo Effect, no one really talks about that, but it is just an awesome, beautiful little song. Seven Cities of Gold, just the groove in that. Oh, and Geddy's bass is just popping, man. So good. Headlong Flight, always one of my favorites. Really great. A class album, as Tara would say, top to bottom. So yeah, 2012, Rush, Clockwork Angels, absolutely worthy of your attention. Next up, we're going back to 2002 and one of the older albums on this list, but it's indeed something that I just had to include it. I couldn't leave it off. No way, no how. This Life Changer, Porcupine Tree in Absentia. Oh, the power of these guys. You know, Gavin Harrison, this is him just newly coming into the band, and he really makes his presence known. Stephen Wilson, Colin Edwin, Richard Barbieri, just a brilliant album. Yeah, I just love it so much. It's heavy. It's kind of the perfect marriage of the metallic side of the band and the very proggy side, which is the thing that they would keep up for a while, right? But just the marriage is like this. It's perfect. And if you haven't heard this, I think you'll like it very much. The musicianship is off the charts here. If Pink Floyd were a metal band, they would make In Absentia, Porcupine Tree. I'm not even going to give you any standout tracks because they're all standout tracks on that. They're all standout tracks on all these albums, actually, especially this next one, which is another great album, and it's the second one that I don't have a physical copy of. I guess I'll just put pictures of them up on the screen, but Neil Morris makes another appearance, and so does Nick DiVirgilio in their old band Spock's Beard, the V album. Oh my gosh, just what a tremendous progressive rock masterpiece. I can't even believe that we are so blessed to have this record. It's just absolutely fantastic. All on a Sunday is one of my favorite songs, but I love the epics, like At the End of the Day, that opens up the album. It's just tremendous. It's really, really great. The production is fantastic on it, and if you haven't heard it, I would highly recommend it. I wish I had a physical copy of it, but I will get very soon. They just got to bring it back in print, that's all. Okay, next up we're going to go the metal route once again, as we do the prog metal. This is a band that started off as a death metal band and then moved into the progosphere, and then moved full like prog jazz fusion-esque, then brought the metal back. They were always a metal band. It is Opeth and Blackwater Park, the first one produced by Stephen Wilson from Porcupine Tree, as you know. But what a tremendous album. I mean, Michael Ackerfeld is an absolute genius. There's no way that I could have not put this on the list. This is one of those albums where you put it on a night drive and it just totally takes you away. You're driving down some back roads, middle of the night, cranking this up. Oh, so good. It's heavy, it's proggy, it's interesting, it's everything that you could ever like in music, especially if you like progressive rock and heavy metal. Boom, it's right here. This is a masterpiece. Opeth, Blackwater Park. Brilliant stuff, and the drumming from Martin Lopez on this is absolutely breathtaking. Next up, we're down to the final four. Now there's a couple of things you're like, oh, he hasn't mentioned so-and-so band yet, he hasn't mentioned this, he hasn't mentioned that. It's coming. We're going to go back to 2000 with indeed the second oldest record on this list, of course, alongside the Spock's Beard album, Flower Kings. And this is Space Ritual. They bookend the album with I Am the Sun Part 1 and 2, with a bunch of really awesome stuff in the middle, but bookending it with two absolutely killer epics like that. Just a tremendous album. And of course you get Jonas Reingold coming back on bass for another appearance in this list. Roy Nastolt, absolutely legendary. If you like progressive rock at all, you absolutely have to dig into this. It is a fantastic record. Very, very good. Flower Kings, Space Ritual, you got to hear it. One of the best albums of progressive rock in the 21st century. The final three. Steven Wilson and the masterpiece that is The Raven That Refused to Sing from 2013. Ian Anderson even makes an appearance on this. Just wow, fantastic. And of course, Guthrie Govan and Marco Miniman come back from the Aristocrats, and they do this with Steven Wilson. It's just a wonderful, wonderful record. The songs on this, Drive Home, The Holy Drinker, Luminol, everything, the whole thing just top to bottom is absolutely, this is a modern day progressive masterpiece. There's no question about it. And even though this is not a ranking, it is absolutely up high on the list for a reason. Steven Wilson, The Raven That Refused to Sing. The final two. What could the final two be, eh? All right. Well, this was hard because this band, you knew I had to mention them. They're on my shirt. It could have been so many records from this band, but this one kind of changed my life. So I actually have to really include this. Train of Thought. There's so many. Most of the Dream Theater albums actually changed my life in various ways, but this was absolutely one of them. It's probably my favorite Dream Theater album, 2003's Train of Thought. Mike Portnoy just being an absolute beast on this thing. The way he locks in with Petrucci so much, it's just unreal. This is the lineup of Jordan Rudess, James Labrie, John Myung, John Petrucci, and of course Mike. Just absolutely killing it. This whole album is indeed an incredible masterpiece, top to bottom. Heavy prog, just brilliant stuff, and the songwriting is fantastic. Absolutely check it out if you haven't heard it already. Dream Theater, Train of Thought, and then one more to end us off. Well, Mike Portnoy has only appeared twice of 3 times on this list, so here's the third one. This album is just one of those where it's like, especially if you're not that familiar with modern progressive rock, you can listen to this and go, okay, I need to get on this. Transatlantic, Sympty. Of course, we've seen all these members appearing in different albums because this is yet another supergroup, but it is a fantastic one. You got Roy Stolt, Neil Morse, Mike Portnoy, and Pete Trewavas coming and making the first of 5 or 6 Transatlantic albums actually, but something about this one, it just blows me away every time I hear it. This is the Sympty album, and all of the above, the 30-minute song that opens up the album, that's definitely prog. A great acoustic song from Neil Morse, that's We All Need Some Light, and there's a couple other tracks. My New World is awesome, Mystery Train is great, and it ends with a cover of Procol Harum's In Held 'Twas an I, which they do a fantastic job of. So yeah, this has been the 21 progressive rock albums of the 21st century that you need to check out. Absolutely. So going back to the beginning, we had Kino, Radio Voltaire, Tesseract, War of Being, Car Mechanic, Transmutation, Tool, Lateralis, Frost, Day and Age, Haken, The Mountain, Wobbler, From Silence to Somewhere, Steve Hackett, sorry, I missed one, John Anderson and the Band Geeks, True, Steve Hackett, Wolflight, Aristocrats, Duck, Peter Gabriel, I.O., Big Train, The Likes of Us, Neil Morse Band, Similitude of a Dream, Rush, Clockwork Angels, Porcupine Tree, In Absentia, Spock's Beard V, Opeth, Blackwater Park, Flower King, Space Ritual, Steven Wilson, The Raven That Refused to Sing, Dream Theater, Train of Thought, and Transatlantic, Sympty, SMPTE. Well, thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Brockway's Vinyl Bites. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you haven't heard any of these albums, what are you doing? You gotta hear them. So good. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time right here. Same bat time, same bat channel, whatever. Love you guys. Rock on!